the Seven of Wands. Now, we closed the week out last week with this card, so this may be a continuation of something you were dealing with last week, where the goal was to gain an advantage, or at least, stay above the fray. Now, maybe this is some negotiation you're in, maybe it's a court case, or there's an offer on the table and you're trying to get the most money. Maybe you're in a supervisory position where you're motivating others. So today is a day where you're focused on either being the instigator of something, or perhaps the motivator, the force behind a situation. Maybe you're the chosen leader. You've been chosen to lead the crowd, and perhaps what you say carries a lot of weight. But in some cases, you may feel like you're under siege, like people are definitely against you and you're having to defend yourself. Maybe this is because you're trying to stand up for yourself, or you're standing on the high ground of some moral conviction. You're holding fast to something. So this could be you either making something happen, or you allow things to happen to you, which is very different. Maybe you're being very brave, very defiant in a situation that warrants it. On the other hand, maybe, you don't know what you're doing, or you feel overwhelmed. Maybe you even want to give up. Something is just too big for you to deal with. So once again, this is all about, changing course when necessary on a dime. You have to be flexible emotionally. You have to allow others to maybe guide the flow sometimes. So if you can't adapt to changing circumstance, you're going to be stuck in a situation that you really don't like. Once again, this is going to be a day where a lot is coming at you. Some of it good, some of it not so good. Some of it brings opportunity, some of it is just a problem. And how you deal with it is going to be important to how things play out. Whatever you're doing, today is a day where it's going to be cumbersome, because if you have a goal, no matter the size, you're really going to have to stay focused to make it happen. Now, this is a day where people want a piece of you. Can you help me? Can you give me some advice? Can you give me some assistance? Which means that if you plan to do that, your own agenda is going to have to change. Your own priorities, your own schedule is going to shift. And maybe you're willing to do that, and maybe you're not so happy about it. If you're in charge of others, you can create a lot of havoc in the way that you lead, or again, you can inspire others. Whether they are performing to the level that you want depends on how you handle the situation and how people respond to your words. Now, for some of you, there's just so much going on. No matter how hard you try, you feel like you're not making any headway. You could feel under siege, you're under attack, or you're having to deal with confrontation, or there's a fear about the future, or fear that you're going to be rejected. So you could be taking on this victim mentality, like everybody's coming after me, everybody's out to get me. But really what the truth is, maybe you've just closed off to some better suggestions, and it's you being stuck that's making you unhappy. And in the course of that, you're lashing out at others, taking your frustration out on people, and maybe you don't even realize it. You're so caught up in what's happening to you that you don't realize perhaps you're being a little bit insensitive to others. Or, if you're stuck, why do you feel so threatened about opening to a different perspective or a different course? So you may have to reconsider what your position is. If it's strong, if it's valid, maybe you need to stay the course. Maybe you need to rebel against the crowd or go against the grain. But in other cases, maybe you just need to open up and make some change.